The stars were quiet. Too quiet. Fleet Commander Reyna Cross stood on the command deck of Earth's deep space station, Sentinel-1, staring at the screen. The station floated just beyond Jupiter, hidden from most sensors. Only top leaders knew it existed. She had served Earth's defense fleet for 20 years. She trusted her training. She trusted her instincts. And today, her instincts screamed. "Commander," said her officer, "Lieutenant Marcus, we received a signal. It's coded, old Terran military style, but it's coming from inside the Andari sector." Reyna turned fast. The Andari were Earth's strongest allies in the Galactic Council. They had signed peace with humanity after the last war. They traded tech, food, and ships. Earth had trusted them. For 50 years, they were called brothers in the stars. But now, a secret signal from their space. "Decode it," Reyna ordered. Marcus nodded. A moment later, the room went silent. The screen flashed red. The message was short, only 5 words. They planned to strike Earth. Everyone stared. Reyna stepped closer. Her voice was steady but cold. "Trace the signal source." It came from an Andari cargo ship registered as friendly, Marcus replied. "But it's not broadcasting anymore." The ship vanished. Reyna clenched her fists. Her heart pounded, but her face stayed calm. "This is a warning," she said. "Someone risked their life to tell us." Back on Earth, deep under the Atlantic Ocean, the High Council met in secret. 10 of the most powerful leaders sat around a dark table. Screens showed the message and the data from Sentinel-1. President Hale, an old war hero, looked tired. "We gave the Andari everything. Trade routes, our technology, our trust," Admiral Chen growled, "and now they plan to stab us in the back." Some members wanted to act fast, attack first, destroy their fleets before they moved, but others warned, what if it's a trick, a test? President Hale turned to the only person he trusted completely, Reyna Cross. She had just arrived via emergency jump. She stood tall, armor still dusty from space. "This isn't a test," Reyna said. "It's real, and we are not ready." "Then what do we do?" one council member asked. Reyna looked at them, her voice clear. "We pretend nothing happened, smile, shake hands, show peace. But in the shadows, we prepare for war." 3 days later, Earth received a message from the Andari Republic. "We bring gifts," the message said. "Let us meet and celebrate 50 years of peace." Reyna watched as the Andari fleet approached Earth orbit, over 100 ships. Big, heavy, many for a simple visit. Why bring warships for a peace mission? She asked quietly. Her team was ready. Earth had moved its real defense fleet into hidden zones. New stealth ships waited near the Moon and Mars. Stations powered their plasma cannons. But to the Andari, Earth looked open, weak, blind. Exactly what Reyna wanted them to think. The Andari ambassador stepped onto Earth's capital ship with a smile on his alien face. He had long blue skin, eyes like cold metal, and a voice too sweet. "Commander Cross," he said, "such a pleasure. Earth is more beautiful than I remember." Reyna forced a smile. "Andari hospitality is legendary." They sat at the table. Words were friendly. Smiles faked. But under the table, Reyna's hand gripped her sidearm. Behind the Andari smiles, she saw something else, movement in orbit, signals between ships, code words used only during war. They were planning something. Her officer, Marcus, whispered in her ear, "We just lost contact with Lunar Outpost 7. Her blood turned cold. Which ship is closest? One of theirs. Registered as a science. Vessel science." Lies, Reyna stood suddenly. The room went quiet. The Andari ambassador raised an eyebrow. "Is something wrong, Commander?" Reyna stared at him. "You tell me? One of our moon bases just went dark? No warning, no signal. And your ship was the last nearby." The ambassador smiled again. "Perhaps a simple accident." Reyna stepped forward, her voice low, sharp. "If this is a game, you picked the wrong planet." The lights flickered. Sirens echoed. Then came the message. Earth defense satellite for destroyed. Everyone moved at once. The Andari guards reached for weapons. So did Earth's soldiers. But Reyna was faster. She pulled her sidearm and aimed it at the ambassador. "Tell your fleet to back off," she said coldly, "or I swear, I'll end this peace right here." The ambassador's face changed. No more smiles, just hate. "You have no idea what's coming, human." Reyna smiled now. "Neither do you." Outside, in the dark space above Earth, hundreds of Andari ships moved into attack formation, their weapons charged. But what they didn't know, what they couldn't see, was the trap waiting for them. Earth's true fleet was waking up, and humanity was ready. The Andari ships floated above Earth, silent and cold, like sharks before. A strike. Reyna Cross stood on the command bridge of the ESS Valiant, Earth's capital ship. Her face was calm, but her eyes never left the screen. Dozens of Andari warships were in low orbit. They had come with banners of peace, but their weapons were charged. "They're still smiling," said Lieutenant Marcus, watching the ambassadors broadcast on the screen, talking peace, while they aim their guns at our cities. Reyna nodded. "They think we're weak, that we'll beg for mercy, but we're ready," he asked. Reyna's voice was sharp. "We were born ready." Inside the Earth Council chambers, the Andari ambassador stood before the leaders of Earth. He smiled politely, but his words had a sharp edge. "We believe there was a mistake," he said. "One of our science ships may have passed too close. To your moon base, we apologize." President Hale looked at him without blinking. "Your science ship had plasma cannons. It destroyed one of our outposts." The ambassador raised his hands. "A technical error, we assure you, Reyna's." Voice came through the council's private comlink. "Don't trust a word he says. They're jamming our satellites now. It's starting." In space, one of the Andari ships moved, just slightly, barely enough to notice, but Reyna saw it. "Ship Alphanine is changing position," Marcus said. "Now, facing our orbital command tower," Reyna clenched her jaw. "That tower connects to our defense grid. If they hit it, we lose half our orbital cannons." She walked to the com station. "Open a channel to Earth's secret fleet." A deep voice answered, "Shadow Fleet standing by." These were Earth's hidden ships, stealth class, cloaked. Spread across the solar system, the Andari didn't know they existed. Reyna gave the command, "Hold position, weapons ready. Fire only on my signal." Meanwhile, on the surface, people watched the skies. News reports still said it was a peace mission, but civilians weren't stupid. Everyone felt the tension. Mothers held their children. Soldiers stood ready. Bunkers were sealed. Sirens waited, and above them, the storm was coming. Back in the council room, the ambassador leaned closer to President Hale. "You cannot win this," he whispered. "Our allies outnumber you. Surrender now. We promise." Mercy Hale didn't move. He stared at the alien with cold, tired eyes. "We made peace with you once," Hale said quietly. "We won't make that mistake again." Suddenly, alarms screamed. Multiple launches from Andari ships. They're targeting our orbital defenses. Impact in 30 seconds. The ambassador didn't even hide his smile now. "Too late," he said. But then his smile faded. Because the Earth didn't panic. It didn't beg. It fought back above the planet, hidden in the black of space. Shadow Fleet came alive. Dozens of cloaked human ships, powered on weapons, plasma railguns, pulse missiles, and EMP bombs lit up the void. From behind asteroids, from the shadows of moons. From deep inside Mars' orbit, Earth struck first, and Andari ships were hit before they knew what happened. Explosions filled the sky. Enemy cruisers spun out of control. Fire bloomed in the silence. Reyna watched it all from her command chair. "Target Alpha 9 destroyed," Marcus confirmed. "For more hit, they're scattering." Reyna gave her next order. "Push forward, no mercy." The Andari ambassador stood frozen in the council room. He heard the screams in his ear as his ships were torn apart. "You lead to us," he whispered. Hale stepped forward. "You came with smiles, but we were watching." Guards dragged the ambassador away. The council room fell into chaos, but Hale stayed still. His face was calm. His message was clear. Earth does not kneel. Back in space. The Andari fleet tried to escape, but the trap was too perfect. Every move had been predicted. Earth's secret weapons, gravity mines, stealth drones, laser webs, cut them down one by one. Reyna didn't celebrate. She didn't smile. She just gave orders. These were supposed to be our allies. She said, never again. Suddenly, an alert flashed. Marcus read it aloud. One enemy ship is jumping into hyperspace. Unknown destination. Track it, Reyna ordered. Where is it going? A few seconds passed. Then Marcus looked up, face pale. It sent a signal into deep space, not to the Andari, to someone else. Reyna's stomach dropped. To who? Marcus swallowed. We don't know, but it's big, strong, and very, very far. Reyna stood silently, so this was only the beginning. The sky above Earth was burning. Even after the first wave of Andari ships was destroyed, more kept coming. From hidden bases, from allied worlds, from secret wormholes. They didn't talk this time. They came to finish the job. On the command deck of the ESS Valiant Fleet Commander Reyna Cross stood tall. Her eyes locked on the battle map. Enemy ships incoming, Lieutenant Marcus reported. Multiple signatures, 15, maybe 20 Capitol class. Do we have any warning from the Council? Reyna asked. Marcus shook his head. No communication. Global network jammed. Satellites going dark, one by one. Reyna's voice dropped. Then this is it, the real strike. She pressed the fleet-wide channel button. All ships, this is Commander Cross. Red alert. Prepare for full engagement. No holding back. On Earth's surface, cities went dark. Electric grids overloaded. Communications died. Air defenses froze. Then came the first strike. A direct hit on Geneva Command. A giant beam of white-hot energy fell from orbit, cutting through the city like a blade. In seconds, half of Earth's military leadership was gone. Then Beijing, then portions of North America. Hospitals lost power. Defense stations couldn't launch. Emergency calls were silent. It wasn't just an attack, it was a decapitation strike. The Andari wanted Earth leaderless, blind, on its knees. But Earth wasn't broken, not yet, because deep underground, in hidden bunkers, old war systems turned on. A is built during the last galactic war came online. Old weapons too dangerous for peacetime were activated again and in orbit. Reyna's fleet moved, enemy fleet spreading wide, Marcus said, trying to overwhelm us from multiple sides. Then we break them, Reyna replied. She turned to her weapons officer. Launch the archers. The officer smiled. Yes, ma'am. From hidden silos across the Moon and Mars, Earth launched its Archer missile stealth-guided warheads that could curve through space, hunt targets, and pierce through even the strongest shields. One by one, Andari ships exploded like fireworks. The stars lit up with fire and wreckage. But Reyna knew it wasn't over. A strange alert blinked on her. Screen. Incoming vessel detected. Class. Unknown. Signal. Human origin. Her heart skipped a beat. Human origin. From where? She asked. Marcus frowned. The signal is old. Very old. Ship ID ESS Resolute. Lost 42 years ago. Reported missing in deep space. Reyna's voice was tight. Put it on screen. A black battle-scarred warship appeared from hyperspace. Its hull was cracked. Its lights flickered. But it was alive, and it carried something Earth hadn't seen in decades: experimental tech. Aboard the Valiant, officers scrambled. That ship was part of the old Ghost Fleet, Marcus said. They were sent to explore deep space and never came back. Now it was here, and it didn't come alone. Behind it, a fleet of unmanned drones, cloaked fast, and armed, poured out like a swarm. They hit the Andari ships from behind. Explosions filled the sky. The tide turned again. Reyna opened a channel. This is Commander Cross to ESS Resolute. Identify yourself. The screen crackled. Humanity was betrayed. I've returned to finish what you started, Reyna smiled. Welcome back, Captain. As the fleet pushed forward, the Andari command ship tried to escape. Reyna saw it on the scanner. Massive, covered in golden armor. It had fired the first beam that hit Geneva. She knew what she had to do. Plot jump coordinates, she ordered. We're taking the fight to their command. But ma'am, Marcus started. Reyna raised her hand. This ends now. The Valiant, along with 3 escort destroyers, jumped through space directly above the Andari flagship. The enemy was surprised. Reyna wasted no time. All weapons, fire, torpedoes, railguns, EMP bombs. The Andari flagship shook under the assault. Its shield flared, then cracked. On the bridge of the Andari ship, Commander Yar screamed in rage. "You dare attack the Hand of Peace!" Reyna opened a private channel to him. "You call this peace?" she said. "You brought fire to our world. We're just returning the favor." She gave the final order. "Fire the Nova Lance." A giant cannon from the Valiant charged up. It hadn't been used in years. Too dangerous, too powerful. But this was the moment. A beam of pure white light blasted forward, piercing the enemy flagship clean through. It exploded in silence like a sun dying in the void, back on Earth. Screens lit up again. The jamming ended. Cities came online. People looked uphand, saw burning ships falling from the sky like shooting stars. The invasion had failed. Earth had survived. But Reyna knew better. Back on the bridge, Marcus looked at the long-range screen. The signal that escaped last time it reached someone. A response is coming. Reyna stared at the stars. Not Andari. Marcus shook his head. Worse, something ancient. Something the Council tried to erase. She clenched her fists. "So, they want war," she whispered. "We'll give them hell." The stars were quiet again. But this time, it wasn't peace. It was the silence before the real war. Fleet Commander Reyna Cross stood on the bridge of the ESS Valiant, looking at the dark screen in front of her. All Earth defenses were back online. The Andari invasion had failed. Their flagship was gone. But something worse was coming. Lieutenant Marcus stepped beside her. Long-range scanners are picking up movement. "Commander," he said, "it's not Andari. Different formation, different tech." Reyna narrowed her eyes. The signal that escaped. Someone answered. Marcus nodded. "Yes, we don't know who they are yet, but they're not here to talk." In the outer edge of the solar system, near the dark gas planet Nix 9. Something moved. No lights, no communication, just motion in the shadows. A group of unknown ships entered the system. They had black holes that absorbed all light, their shapes twisted like broken knives, silent, fast, angry. Earth's spy satellites tried to scan them and shut down instantly. One message was left behind. You protected the humans, now suffer. Back on Earth, President Hal gathered with the Council in the underground command bunker. A hologram of the alien ships spun in front of them. "Are we under attack again?" one council member asked. "No," Reyna said over the holocoom. "We're already being hunted." She explained what her ships had seen. This new enemy didn't come in fleets, they came in packs. Like predators, they used stealth fields Earth had never seen before. They attacked stations silently, slicing through steel, leaving no survivors, only burnt-out wrecks. Admiral Chen stood up. "What do they want?" Reyna's face was hard. Revenge, for protecting humanity. The Andari called them in. "Now, we face their gods." Earth called them the Varnok, a forgotten race, ancient, brutal. They didn't join the Galactic Council. They didn't believe in peace. They only appeared when there was blood to follow. Now, they were here. Reyna gave the order. "Activate Black Protocol." Marcus blinked. "Commander." "That's forbidden." Reyna stared at him. "Not anymore." Across the system, Earth's shadow bases came online. These were stations hidden for decades, meant for a war Earth hoped would never come. Black Protocol activated. Project Phantom stealth corvettes with silent kills. Vortex Mines anti-gravity bombs that pulled ships into mini black holes. The Skyburner Array solar-powered orbital lasers hidden inside the sun's energy grid. One by one, these deadly tools came online. Earth was done playing nice. The Varnok attacked a civilian science ship near Saturn. They sent no warning, no demands. They simply cut the ship into pieces with high-frequency energy blades. Then vanished. Reyna's fleet arrived 10 minutes later. Too late to save anyone, but not too late to answer. Reyna whispered. "Bring in the Ghost Fleet." Marcus hesitated. "They never stopped training," she replied. The Ghost Fleet hold veterans' AI warships, and forgotten machines from the last human warrior peered from deep space, covered in scars, running on modified power cores. Each ship loaded with weapons outlawed by the Council. And they wanted one thing: revenge. The trap was set near Titan. Reyna used one of Earth's old mining facilities as bait. The Varnak fell. For it, 10 of their shadow ships surrounded the station, ready to strike, but the station was empty. It was a lure. The second the Varnak moved closer, BOOMEMP mines disabled their cloaks. Vortex fields locked them in place, and from the shadows, hell arrived. The ghost fleet appeared like phantoms, black ships with red lights, screaming through the void with no fear. Plasma bombs, kinetic slugs, laser, fire. The Varnak tried to fight, but this wasn't the Galactic Council. This was humanity. At war, one by one, the Varnak ships were torn apart. They screamed, but no one answered. On the bridge of the Valiant, Marcus watched the battle. "Sir, they're falling back." Reyna nodded. "Good, let them run." But then something unexpected happened. One Varnak ship didn't run. It self-destructed in the middle of the battlefield. A massive explosion tore through a third of the area, human and Varnak ships alike. It wasn't suicide. It was a message back in the council bunker. The translation team played the Varnak's broadcast. A deep, echoing voice spoke. "Your shadows fight well, but you fight alone. The stars will soon forget your name. We are not the only ones coming." Silence filled the room. President Hale looked at Reyna's hologram. "More enemies." She nodded. Yes, the Varnak were just the fire starter. Calling others old enemies, dark alliances. The kind that burned entire galaxies. One council member whispered, "Then we have no hope." Reyna looked straight ahead. "No, we have a fleet. We have fire. And this time, we won't wait to be attacked." The final scene shows Earth's combined fleet, old ships, new ships, hidden ships, all gathering near Mars. The stars were burning. Earth's fleet was no longer hiding. Now it was on the attack. Commander Reyna Cross stood on the bridge of the ESS Valiant, leading the largest human fleet ever assembled. Hundreds of ships, old and new, surrounded her, moving fast, moving silent, heading straight into Varnak space. Earth had been betrayed, then invaded, then hunted. Now it was time to strike back. "Status report," she said calmly. Lieutenant Marcus replied, "Jump complete. All ships accounted for. We've entered the edge of Varnak territory. No sign of enemy ships." Yet, Reyna looked out at the empty black void. They're hiding again. But this time, so was she. Deep inside the Varnak zone, old battlefields floated in space. Broken ships, torn metal, dead machines. This was where the Varnak had wiped out 3 alien civilizations long ago. Now Earth had come to finish what those others started. Suddenly, alarms beeped. "Unknown contacts detected," Marcus said. "There. Not Varnak." Reyna frowned. "Show me." On the screen, a new fleet appeared. Strange shapes. Blue-colored ships with glowing wings. Fast, silent. "Watching, it's the Zelari," Marcus said, shocked. Reyna remembered the name. The Zelari Empire, once powerful, now forgotten. They were destroyed by the Varnak 100 years ago, but clearly not all of them. A message came through. A female voice, cold and strong, filled the bridge. "Humans, you should not be here. Turn back," Reyna answered calmly. "We came to fight the Varnak." "So did we," the voice replied. "But they nearly destroyed us. You have no allies in this region, only graves." Reyna narrowed her eyes. "Then why are you here?" "To watch the fire burn, and to finish whoever survives." The message ended. Marcus looked uneasy. "They might turn on us if we win." Reyna nodded. "Then we make sure they don't get that chance." The fleet moved deeper into Varnak space. They found burning planets, broken stations, and old bones of alien cities. The Varnak left nothing alive, but suddenly, one human scout ship picked up a signal, a distress call, from a non-human voice. The message repeated in an old galactic language. "We are the Drail, betrayed by the Varnak. Help us, we surrender." Reyna raised an eyebrow. "The Drail? I thought they were allied with the Varnak." Marcus nodded. "They were. Maybe not anymore." A hidden asteroid base was found. Inside, dozens of Drail ships, damaged, powered. Down there, people starving. Reyna led a small team to investigate. She met the Drail, leader General Uthak. His species had gray skin, long arms, and glowing eyes. "We fought with the Varnock," he said, voice weak. "We helped them hunt your kind. But when we were no longer useful, they turned on us." Reyna stared at him. "Why should I help you?" General Athak looked down. "Because we know where they are hiding. We know where their queen is." Back on the Valiant, the Earth Council debated the choice. Some said, "Ignore them, they're traitors." Others said, "Use them, then destroy them." Reyna had her own answer. "We help them for now. But the moment they betray us again, we end them." With the Drael's help, Earth learned the location of the Varnock Hive Shippa massive mobile station. The size of a small moon, buried inside a gas giant named TORK on -7. Reyna gave the order. "Plot a course. Load every weapon. This ends now." But as the fleet prepared to jump, something strange happened. The Zelari fleet reappeared this time, much closer, Reyna ordered. Weapons locked, but then a new message came through. The same female voice, but this time it was different. "We intercepted your signal. The Hive ship. You plan to attack." Reyna replied, "Yes." "Then we are with you." Everyone on the bridge stared at the screen. Marcus whispered, "What?" "We want revenge." The voice continued, "Let us fight beside you, and after it ends, we will leave." Reyna paused. Was this a trick or a second chance? She took a breath. "Fine, but you follow our rules." "Agreed. The Varnock end tonight." Now, 3 fleets. Moved together. Humanity once betrayed, now angry and united. The Drael broken allies of the Varnock, seeking redemption. The Zelari ancient enemies returned from the shadows. They jumped into the storm of TORK on -7. Inside the gas giant. Vision was limited. Lighting crackled through the clouds. The Hive ship waited like a sleeping beast. Hundreds of Varnock vessels circled it. Reyna gave the final speech. "Today, we're not just fighting for Earth. We're fighting for every world they've burned. Every life they crushed. We fight from the shadows, and we strike like fire." She looked to her fleet. "This is not just war. This is justice." The battle began. Zelari cruisers used light weapons to break shields. Drael warships took hits for the humans, trying to earn trust, and humanity brought the storm. Skyburners cut through armor. Ghost ships appeared out of clouds and delivered deadly payloads, and at the center, Reyna's Valiant faced the Hive ship head-on. The Hive ship released, a sound like a scream through space. Thousands of Varnock drones poured out, one by one. Ships were lost on both sides, but Reyna pressed forward. The Valiant rammed through enemy lines. They reached the Hive core, and then fired the Novalance. A beam of white light pierced through. The Hive's heart, it exploded from the inside. Fire and lightning swallowed everything. The Hive was dead. Silence followed, then cheers. The Varnock were gone. Reyna stood quietly on the bridge, watching the stars. Marcus stepped beside her. "We didn't." Reyna didn't smile. "We survived, but the galaxy just learned something." Marcus asked, "What's that?" She looked out at the stars. "Humanity doesn't run, humanity burns back." The Varnock Hive was destroyed, their fleets scattered, their command center vaporized, but Earth was not done. Commander Reyna Cross stood at the center of the war room aboard the ESS Valiant. Eyes locked on the star map. Red marks showed every Varnock-controlled system. She pointed to 3 of them. "Hit all 3, she said at once. Lieutenant Marcus looked shocked. "You want to attack their colonies? They hit our cities, burned our people. Now they'll learn what fear feels like," Reyna replied coldly. Back on Earth, the Council received her plan. It was bold, it was dangerous. It broke every law the Galactic Council had ever written. But after everything Earth had been through, no one said no. President Hale gave the official order. Operation Firestorm is approved. Send the message loud and clear. Is not prey. Earth is the fire. Operation Firestorm began. The plan: strike all major Varnock colonies at once. Show strength. Shock their allies. Crush their morale. 3 Earth fleets moved out. Fleet 1, led by Reyna, went to Sorna Prime. Fleet 2, led by Admiral Juno, attacked Cradle 6, a Varnock breeding world. Fleet 3, formed by AI warships, targeted the Varnock fuel mines on Void Reach. The attacks were fast, brutal, and deadly. At Sorna Prime, Reyna's ships jumped in under cloak. The Varnak colony never saw them coming. First, the orbital guns went offline disabled by stealth drones. Then came the skyburners. Giant beams of sunlight focused into weapons. The ground turned to glass. The Varnak screamed, but Reyna gave no mercy. Target only military and command centers. Let the rest see what we're capable of. In 14 minutes, the entire Varnak command post on Sorna was destroyed at Cradle 6. Admiral Juno's fleet arrived with vengeance. This world raised Varnak warriors from birth. It was their pride. It became their grave. Juno unleashed the Wrath Protocol, a swarm of smart bombs that only hit targets marked by enemy blood. No civilians, just soldiers. The planet's war factories were rubble. The message was clear. If you raise weapons against Earth, Earth will burn them first. At Void Reach, Earth's AI fleet showed no hesitation. These weren't humans. These were machines built to win at any cost. They shut down the Varnak's entire fuel system in 40 seconds. No energy, no power, no ships. The Varnak tried to surrender. The AI replied with silence and left across the galaxy. The news spread like fire. Earth wasn't begging for peace. Earth was taking revenge in hidden council chambers. Alien races whispered they were supposed to be weak. They were just another young species. But now they're terrifying. Many governments that once backed the Varnak now went quiet. A few even reached out to Earth in secret. We're sorry, we didn't. No, please don't come for us. On the ESS Valiant, the crew watched news reports from alien space. Crowds on distant worlds chanted in support of humans. Reyna sat quietly in her chair. We used to ask for seats at their table, she said. Now they send messengers to kneel at ours. Marcus looked unsure. Some say we've gone too far. Reyna's eyes were hard. And what did they say when Earth burned? But not everyone was quiet. One last Varnak commander car, the Unbroken, broadcasted a threat across the stars. He stood in the ruins of his fallen base, blood on his armor, eyes burning with rage. You think this is over, humans? You have awakened more than you understand. You struck us. You humiliated us. But in doing so, you've invited something worse. Reyna watched the broadcast without blinking. T-Car continued. The Council of the Deep is watching now. The Forgotten Ones, they are older than war. They hate noise. And Earth has been loud. The screen cut, Marcus whispered. Council of the Deep. I thought they were a myth. No, Reyna said, voice calm. They're real. I've seen the old files, we were warned. Suddenly, a new signal appeared. It wasn't Varnak. It wasn't Dr. EYL. It wasn't even Zel-Ari. It was something no one had seen in thousands of years. A strange symbol pulsed on every screen. Circles within circles. Light wrapped in shadow, and 3 words echoed across every ship. We have heard. The crew fell silent. No one moved. Then Marcus asked, What do we do now? Reyna looked up at the stars and smiled. We hit them first. The stars were no longer silent. Something had answered, something ancient. On the bridge of the ESS Valiant, Commander Reyna Cross stared at the symbol on the screen. Circles within circles, rotating slowly, glowing faint red, kept repeating across all human and alien systems. We have heard. Not from the Varnak, not from the Council, not from any known race. This came from the edge of known space. And beyond, Lieutenant Marcus turned pale. Commander, long range. Sensors just picked up movement. How many ships? Reyna asked. Marcus looked up, voice shaking. It's not ships. It's one object. Massive. Bigger than a moon. Maybe a planet. Straight toward Earth, he said, in Earth's underground war bunker. Alarms screamed. President Hale gathered with the council. No one spoke at first. Then the defense minister said, What is that thing? Admiral Chen replied, We don't know. It's wrapped in some kind of spatial cloak. Our weapons can't scan it. But it's not natural. President Hale turned to the only person he trusted in deep space. He opened a private channel to Reyna. This part of the Varnak plan. Reyna's voice came back cold and certain. No, this is something older. Something even they were afraid of. For the first time, Earth's leaders agreed on one thing. If it's heading toward Earth, it must be stopped. The Council activated Protocol Exodus, the last resort plan built for ancient threats. Old weapons were unsealed. AI systems reactivated. Orbital cannons were redirected toward deep space. But Reyna had another idea. Don't wait for it to come to Earth, she said. We go to it. Elite warships, 3 AI-controlled dreadnoughts, and at the center, the Valiant, together. Sphere, cracked with red lines like veins, it floated quietly, Marcus whispered. Then a voice echoed through every ship, not over radio, not from speakers. It entered their minds. You have awakened the old flame. You burn like children playing with fire. Now you will learn what true silence is. Crew members screamed. Some fainted. The lights flickered. The AI dreadnoughts, shut down, instantly erased. Reyna stood firm. Whatever you are, she growled, we're not afraid of you. The object pulsed once. Then, ... worked. Lasers passed through them. Missiles exploded, doing nothing. Then the creatures attacked. One of the escort cruisers. Last weapon, ready the Trinity, protocol, she said. Marcus blinked, but that weapon was never tested. It bends gravity, tears, fabric of space. We don't need to win, Reyna said. We just need to wound it. The Valiant's core hummed. On my mark, the creatures screamed louder. The fleet shook, but Reyna didn't flinch. Fire. Creatures screamed. They weren't invincible after all. 2 of them exploded. The others vanished. And the sphere, it began to close. Wounded, but not dead, back on the Valiant. Staring at the shrinking sphere, we drew blood, she whispered. Marcus sat down, breathing hard. We didn't kill it, though. The stars will turn against you. You will burn everything. Let them all come, because Earth has already burned. Had retreated, wounded by Earth's final weapon. But something had changed. The galaxy was watching. Alien empires that once mocked Earth now stayed quiet. Former allies who had betrayed them had vanished into their bunkers. Even the Varnic survivors sent no message, no threat, no sound, because now the entire galaxy knew Earth didn't bow. It struck first. And it struck hard on the ES. Valiant Commander Reyna Cross stood alone in the observation deck, staring at the stars. They looked peaceful again, but peace was a lie. Marcus entered quietly. Fleet repairs are at 70%. Final council vote is complete. They want you to return. Reyna didn't turn, and the sphere. Our scouts say it's healing. Slowly, but definitely healing. Reyna finally looked at him. Then we don't wait. Mars, Europa, Titan, even hidden outposts from the dark side of the Kuiper Belt. He spoke only one sentence. If we stop now, we wait to die. And so, they voted humanity would go where no race had gone. Into the forbidden space beyond. The sphere, to end the war that should never have existed. Reyna's final fleet was launched. No politics, no mercy. Just fire and resolve. 50 elite warships, 12 AI dreadnoughts, the resurrected Ghost Fleet, and the Valiant leading them all. Their mission, enter the sphere. End the silence forever. As they approached the massive black orb, they saw something new. The sphere was no longer closed. It was open, inviting them in a trap. Probably Reyna smiled anyway. Good. I like walking into traps. They entered. Inside the sphere. Space twisted. Time-bent. Ships moved slower. Shadows whispered across their hulls. And then they saw it. The core, it floated in the center like a black sun wrapped in dying stars. Machines circled it. Old and rotting, maybe created billions of years ago. Marcus gasped, Commander, this isn't a weapon. It's a prison. Then the truth hit them. This war wasn't Earth versus the galaxy. It wasn't even Earth versus the Varnock. Terrible. And now, after eons of silence, had knocked too loudly. The core began to pulse. The machines around it awakened. Massive defense systems powered up. Weapons older than galaxies. Reyna didn't hesitate. All ships, full firepower, hit the core. Now, the final battle began. Plasma bolts, railguns, EMP storms. The black core fought back, summoning gravity wells. Earth's ships exploded, but they kept going, because if they didn't destroy it, everything would burn. Reyna's ship, the Valiant, took the lead. It charged forward, engines screaming, weapons firing, everything. The core struck them once, twice, but the Valiant kept going. Its hull melted, its AI shut down. But Reyna stayed standing. She turned to Marcus. "You know what we have to do?" He nodded, tears in his eyes. It into the core herself. The final message from the Valiant was simple. Humanity was forged in fire. We do not fear it. We become it. Silence, a flash brighter than anything the galaxy. Few surviving ships floated out from the broken black ruins. The Ghost fleet had taken heavy losses. AI warships were mostly gone. The Valiant was lost, but the threat was gone too. On Earth, people watched the skies, and from that day forward, no one called humanity weak. Epilogue. Years passed, monuments were built. Reyna, a cross, became a legend, remembered as the flame that walked into darkness. The galaxy changed. Earth led new peace talks, not from a place of begging, but from a place of power. New allies came willingly, old enemies stayed silent, and the message carved in the stars remained: backstabbed by allies, betrayed by peace. And the stars will never forget.